Hello, myself Gomati. Last class we discussed about the diagrammatic representation. In this class we discuss about the graphical representation. Definitely you have to know the difference between the diagrammatic and graphical representation. Diagrammatic representation is applicable for the raw data and the graphical representation applicable for the discrete and continuous data. What is graph? A graph is a visual form of a presentation of your statistical data. A graph is more attractive than a table of figure. Even a common man can understand message of data from the graph easily. A frequency distribution can be presented graphically in any one of the following ways. I already told about it. Data are the three types of data. The first one is individual data, discrete series, and continuous series. Individual series applicable for the diagrammatic representation, and the discrete series and the continuous series the applicable for the graphical representation. So discrete data and the continuous data using drawing method we have to use the following methods. The first one is histogram and the second one frequency polygon, frequency curve, Ogilvy or cumulative frequency curve and the Lorentz curve. Histogram. Histogram is one of the most important method in the graphical representation. It is very useful method for presenting the frequency distribution of a continuous series. Histogram cannot apply for the raw data and discrete series. In continuous series, we have two types of class intervals. That means equal class interval, unequal class interval. Definitely you have to know about what is equal class interval, what is unequal class interval. Distance between the class interval is same as equal class interval. For example, the class interval 5 to 10, 10 to 15, 15 to 20, 20 to 5. The class interval length is common 5. I give an example for the unequal class interval 5 to 10, 10 to 15, 15 to 25, 25 to 35. The first two difference is 5, last two difference is 10. This is the unequal class interval. What is histogram? A continuous bar is called the histogram. That means adjacent bars is called the histogram. Histogram, you have a two type of histogram. One equal class interval and another one is unequal class interval. First we see the equal class interval with the example. I give the example. The class interval 0 to 10, 10 to 20, 20 to 30, 30 to 40, 40 to 50, 50 to 60, 60 to 70, 70 to 80. And the frequency 2, 5, 8, 10, 14, 12, 6, 3. It is an equal class because 0 to 10 is length is 10, 10 to 20 difference is 10, all length is 10 only. So equal class interval. We have to draw a histogram. The continuous bar diagram is called a histogram. So x-axis you have to represent the class interval, y-axis represent the frequency. So first you draw the class interval. First is 0, 10, 20, 30, 40, up to the highest interval is 80. You have to draw it 80. And the frequency is 2, 5. Highest is 40. We have to split into 2, 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. We draw first 0 to 10 is 2. So 0 to 10 bar the bar. The continuous bars is histogram. And 10 to 25 we have continued this one. Last one is 80, 70 to 80 is a 3. The continuous bar is this the equal class interval histogram. The class interval are unequal. We have to make some corrections in the frequencies. Example, if one class interval is twice as wide as one having the lowest interval, we divide corresponding frequency by 2. If thrice more, we divide the frequency by 3 and so on, depends on. I give example. Class interval 10 to 15, 15 to 20, 20 to 25, 25 to 35, 35 to 45 and frequency is given 7, 13, 5, 4, 2. First you have to define the distance, class interval length. First one is 5 and the second one is length is 5 and third one is length is 5 and fourth and fifth one is length is 10. First you have to find the minimum distance, minimum class interval. Minimum class interval is 5. So highest is 10. So first you have to using the class and already know about the x-axis represent the class interval, y-axis represent the frequency. So you will have the minimum is 10, highest is 45, we split 10, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 45. 10 to 15 is the length is 7, just draw the bars, draw a bar. And 15, 20, 30 adjacent bars, most important one. And 20 to 35, 5. And move on to 25, 35 means the class interval is distance is twice last one. So the frequency divided by 2 because the common class interval 5, this one is 10. So 2 times, so you divide the frequency by 2. So 4 by 2 is 2. And next one also 35 by 10. The class interval is 2 times. So divided by 2 in frequency. So 2 by 2 is 1. You have to using only 1, the frequency 1. This is the unequal class interval. Means you have to using this method, you have to draw the histogram. The class interval thrice means you have to divide by 3. Next one is frequency polygon. Frequency polygon is the easiest one. First you have to draw a histogram. Already we know about how to draw the histogram. Equal class interval or unequal class interval. We know about the how to draw the histogram. First you have to draw the histogram, then join the midpoints of a histogram by a straight line is a frequency polygon. That's all. We see the example. Class interval, frequency, class interval 30 to 35, 35 to 40, 40 to 45, 45 to 50, 50 to 55, 55 to 60, 60 to 65 and frequency is the 4, 7, 10, 18, 14, 8, 3. We know that is the equal class interval. All length of the class interval is 5. Is equal class interval. So we can easily draw the histogram. X-axis representing class interval and y-axis representing the frequency. Class starting is 30. So 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 50 up to highest is 65. And the frequency highest term is 14. So we can split into 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 up to 14. So draw a bars. First bar is 30 to 35 is 4. Second bar is 35 to 40 is 7. And 40 to 45 10. 45 to 50 is 18, 50 to 55 is 14, 55 to 60 is 8, 60 to 65 is 3. Definitely you have to know what adjacent bars is a histogram, so must one. So first draw the histogram and then join the midpoints. Just put the dot on midpoints in the histograms. Joining the midpoints by straight line. Each midpoints joined by the straight line is called the finishing, also join the midpoint only, called a frequency polygon. Next, frequency curve. Frequency polygon and frequency curve is the same one, light changes. Frequency polygon means joining the midpoints by straight line, and frequency curve means joining the midpoints by curve. This is the frequency curve. Frequency curve is drawn free and through various points of the polygon. First you have to draw the histogram and then joining the midpoints by curve. That means a smooth and method. This is a frequency curve. I give an example also. 0 to 10,000, 1,000 to 2,000, 2,000 to 3,000, 3,000 to 4,000, up to 7,000, 8,000 and frequency is there. First you draw a histogram. First you have to check out it's an equal class interval or unequal class interval, unequal class interval, and then draw the histogram and join the midpoints by curve or freehand method. It's called a frequency curve. Frequency polygon is Join the histogram by straight line is frequency polygon, and join the midpoints by the curve is called the frequency curve. Ogus or cumulative frequency curve. These are the graphical representations. Yeah, first you have to know about what is cumulative frequency. Cumulative frequency means you have to add the frequency. That's all. For example, the frequencies are 2, 5, 7, 8, etc. Dot. Just see if cumulative frequency means 2. First one is same, and next is 2 plus 5, 7. Next 7 means 7 plus 7, 14. You have to add the frequencies, cumulative frequency. Means such frequencies you have to draw in graph is called a cumulative frequency curve or ogus. Two types of ogus. The first one is less than ogu or more than ogus. Another name is less than cumulative frequency, more than cumulative frequency. Ogus are two types, less than ogu, more than ogu. Less than ogu means you have to use the upper limit and less than CF. More than ogu means lower limit and more than CF. First you have to know the how to find it less than CF and more than CF. Less than CF means you have to add the frequency is called the less than CF. The first one is same and remaining you have to add up to date adding the limits is less than CF. More than CF means you have to subtract the frequencies from the total of the frequency. First you have to find the total of the frequency and then subtracting each frequency of the class we get the more than CF. First you have to draw the less than CF using the upper limits. That means like the class interval 10 to 20 means 10 is lower limit, 20 is upper limit. Less than CF means you have to use the upper limit and the less than CF. Then using the deep points you have to plot at the graph. Then we get the rising curve is called the less than ogu or cumulative frequency curve. And then more than ogu means you have to using the lower limit and more than CF. The using these points we have to plot the curve. We get the declining curve. It's called as more than ogu. Using the ogus, we can find the median in graphical method. We saw some example how to draw the ogus. Like example, class interval, frequency. Class interval 10 to 20, 20 to 30, 30 to 40, 40 to 50, 50 to 60, 60 to 70. Frequency are 2, 5, 7, 12, 9, 4. First, how to calculate the less than ogus and more than ogus. First, less than ogus means you have to use the upper class interval 10 to first class interval 10 to 20. Upper means 10 is lower limit, 20 is upper limit. Less than ogu means you have use only the upper limits. The first one upper limit is 20, second one is 30, third one 40, 50, 60, 70. And find the less than CF. All the know that less than CF means you have to add the frequencies. First one is same 2. And next add 2 plus 5 is 7, 7 plus 7 is 14, 14 plus 12 is 26, 26 plus 9 is 35, 35 plus 4 is 39. These thing using these points you have to draw, we have to draw the graph. First one is 22. 20 means you have the class all the class interval is in x-axis, the frequency is y-axis. The first one is 20, 20 and 2 and 30, 7, 40, 14, 50, 26, 60, 35, 70, 39 is the rising the curve. We can less than yogis we get the rising curve. And next one is more than ogu. More than ogu means you have to use the lower limit. First one is lower limit 10, second 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. And then you have to find the more than CF. More than CF means first you have to find the frequency total. Frequency total is 30. The first one is 30, frequency total is 39. The first one is 39, then subtract 1 by 1. 39 minus 2 is 37, 37 minus 5 is 25, 25 minus 12 is 13, and then again subtract it, last one is 4. So using these points, we have to draw the graph. First value is 10, 20, 39, 20, 37, 30, 32, 40 and 35. First put the dots and joining the curves, points, we get the curve. This is a declining curve. Less than method means rising curve, more than means you have to decline curve. Last one is Lorentz curve. Lorentz curve is a graphical method of studying dispersion. It was introduced by Maxwell Lorentz, a great economist and statistician, to study the dispersion of wealth and income. It is also used to study the variability in distribution of profit, wages, revenue, etc. It is a percentage of cumulative values of one variable in combined with the percentage value in other variable, and the Lorentz curve is drawn. To draw a Lorentz curve, we have to follow some procedures. First we have to find the cumulative values of both the variables and the frequency. First we have to find the cumulative values. Already we discussed about what is cumulative. You have to find the cumulatives of the values and the frequency. And 2, find the percentage of the cumulative values. First you have to find the cumulative value and then find the percentage of the cumulative values. And third one, take the percentage of cumulative frequencies on x-axis starting to 0 to 100. Most important point, these points we can take the own values, the common point 0 to 100. X-axis also 0 to 100, y-axis also 0 to 100. That means 0, 10, 20, 30, 40 up to 100 because we convert into percentage. And then take the percentage of cumulative values of the variable y-axis starting from 0 to 100 also. And next step, draw a straight line joining by 0 to 0 and 100 to 100. We have to draw a straight line 0 to 0 point and 100 to 100 point. Then we plot the rectangle bar. Last one, joining these plotted points by a smooth curve. This curve is called the Lorentz curve. I explain how to draw a Lorentz curve with example. The example, income and number of person. Income is it's a discrete series, 100, 20, 200, 300, 200, 400, 500, 800. Number of persons mean 80, 70, 50, 30, 20. So first you have to find the cumulative. Income also you have to find the cumulative, and number of persons means frequency. Then you also find the cumulative. First income 100, 200, 400, 500, 800. First you have to find the cumulative of the income. Cumulative means you have to add the interval. First one 100 plus 200, 300, 300 plus 400, 700, 700 plus 500, 1200, 1200 plus 800, 2000. This is the cumulative value of the income. Then we have to find the percentage of the cumulative of the income. The cumulative income total is 2000. So find each and every term you have to find the percentage. First one 100. 100 divided by 2000 into 100. The percentage is 5. The same manner. Second one 300 divided by 2000 into 100. 50. In the same manner we have to find the percentage. The percentage of cumulative income is 5, 15, 35, 60 and the 100. It's increasing only because the cumulative percentage. And next is in the same manner we have to find the number of person also. First you find the cumulative person. Cumulative person, you have the add the terms per number of persons 80, 70, 50, 30, 20. Add. You have to add each and every term. 80 first one is same. 80 plus 70 150, 150 plus 50 200, 200 plus 30 230, 230 plus 20 250. Then you have to find the percentage of the cumulative persons. So first one 80 by 250. The 250 is a no total person counting into 100. The first one 32. Next one 150 by 250 into 100. 60. In the same manner, continue same manner, we get increasing. Definitely we get only increasing percentage because a cumulative percentage. Then you have to draw the graph using the cumulative percentage. In this graph, x-axis representing number of person, y-axis representing the income. X-axis the percentage. First one is, first you have to draw a graph. You have to split 10 10 10 20 30 40 50 60 up to 100. Y-axis the same manner only, 10 20 30 up to 100. First you have to draw a straight line, 0 to 0 and 100 to joining these points. It's a straight line, it's a 45-degree, and draw a graph 0 to 100 and 100 to joining these points. You have get the rectangle square box. Then you have to plot the points. First point is 5, in income 5, and then cumulative persons is 32, 5 32, and then 15 60, 35 80, 60 92, 100 finishing. You have to join in the deep points using the smooth curve. We get the Lorentz curve. Most important one in this sum, income representing y-axis, number of persons representing x-axis. Advantages of graphical representation. First one, it is easy understand by all because the graphical representation is a visual representation. Illiterate or literate easily understand this graphical method. And next one, data can be represented by in one more attractive form and appearing to the eye. Yeah, we can give the different colors, different shapes. It is an easy way of understanding for eye. And third one, we can apply the comparison between two or more sets of figures using, and it shows a trend and tendency the values of the variable, and it helps interpolation of the values of variable. It has a universal applicable, graphical universal applicable method. Various variable statistical like median, mode, quartile easily obtained by using the graphical method. For example, values using find the median, and histogram we can find them using histogram we can find the mode, and values using the find the quartiles also, and using the Lorentz curve we find the coefficient of variation, see which is a more variability. And comparative analysis and interpretation may be effectively and easily made by the graphical presentation, and it provides a more lasting effect on brain because it is easy understandable. We can't memorize it. Limitation of graphical representation. First one, a diagrams does not show all the facts in details. Definitely we can get the perfect details in the diagrammatic, and diagrams show only approximately value, and the uses of certain diagrams are limited to experts. It is a supplement to the tabular presentation but not an alternating it. It takes a lot of time to prepare it. Minute reading cannot be made. Small difference in large measurements cannot be studied. It depends on only approximate value. Diagram drawn on false based on LSD. If there is a wide gap between two different measurements, the diagrams will not give the meaningful look. Uses of graphical representation. Graphs are useful aid which gives a bird's eye view of a given set of numerical data. They provide easy comparison of two or more phenomena. Graphs can be easily understood even by illiterate person also. Graphs are more attractive and impressive method. They provide the basis to look at a statistical method like median, mode. Graphs are helpful in interpolation extrapolation techniques because we can estimate the trend direction change of variable by means of graphs. Last session of the unit 1. So I want to recall the before chapters. The first chapter is statistics, functions, limitations, and second chapter is collections of data, and third chapter is classification, and fourth one is tabulation, and next one is diagrammatic representation. The last one is graphical representation. Thank you.